Lectures 1-3, Plant Cells, Diversity, Architecture. Vocabulary. Angiosperms, flowering plants, majority of food crops. Gymnosperms, seed plants without flowers, for example. Conifers, an alternation of generation. Plants alternate between diploid sporophyte and haploid gametophyte stages. Mencel wall, rigid outer layer made of cellulose, provides support. Cellulose, most common structural polysaccharide in plant cell walls. And plasmodesmata, cytoplasmic channels that connect plant cells. And phospholipid bilayer, membrane with hydrophobic tails and hydrophilic heads. Mitochondria, respiration and ATP synthesis. And in chloroplast, photosynthesis organelle. In SAM, shoot apical meristem, source of shoot growth. And xylem transports water, minerals upward. And phloem transports sugars, organics. And RAM, root apical meristem, root growth. And microbodies, peroxisomes, glyoxysomes, metabolic roles. And macule stores water, solutes, toxins, pigments. And plant cytoskeleton, microtubules actin for structure, transport, division. And nucleus stores DNA, transcription. Endomembrane system, ear, Golgi, vacuoles, membranes. Endoplasmic reticulum, RER proteins, SER lipids. And Golgi apparatus, protein polysaccharide processing. And plastids, chloroplasts, chromoplasts, amyloplasts, specialized roles. Study questions. What are the 7 unifying principles of plant life processes? Cell structure, reproduction, metabolism, growth, response to environment, evolution, genetics. How are plants classified? Evolutionary lineage, algae, mosses, ferns, gymnosperms, angiosperms, which is the most common polysaccharide in cell walls. Cellulose, primary wall equal to cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin. Secondary wall equal to cellulose plus lignin. Name plant cell organelles and functions. Nucleus DNA, mitochondria ATP, chloroplast photosynthesis, or synthesis, Golgi processing, vacuole storage, etc. What are the 3 tissue systems? Dermal protection, vascular transport, ground storage, photosynthesis port. What are the 3 types of ground tissue cells? Parenchyma, metabolism, collenchyma, flexible support, sclerenchyma, rigid support. What are the 2 types of vascular tissues? Xylem, water, minerals, phloem, sugars. Components of a phospholipid molecule, head hydrophilic, tails hydrophobic. Types of membrane proteins, integral, peripheral, anchored. Simple versus compound leaves. Simple equal to single blade, compound equal to multiple leaflets. Lectures 4-5, water balance of plants. Vocabulary, hydrogen bonds, weak attractions between water molecules, basis for cohesion. And cell wall, rigid structure outside membrane, regulates water uptake. When turgor pressure of vacuole against wall, maintains rigidity. And cohesion, attraction of water molecules to each other. When adhesion, attraction of water molecules to surfaces. Tensile strength, resistance of water column to breaking under tension. In diffusion, movement of molecules down concentration gradient. In osmosis, diffusion of water across semi-permeable membrane. In water potential, measure of free energy of water, psi equal to psi plus SIP plus psig. In solute potential, effect of solute concentration on psi, always less than or equal to 0. In aquaporins, water channels that regulate rate of water flow. In root hairs, increase absorptive surface area of roots. And transpirational pull, evaporation at leaves creates negative pressure. Bulk flow, mass flow of water due to pressure gradient. Apoplast cell wall extracellular water pathway. Mesemplast cytoplasmic pathway via plasmodesmata. And transmembrane pathway, water crosses cell membranes. In Casparian strips, hydrophobic barrier in endodermis, forcing symplastic flow. In vessel elements, wide xylem cells with perforations. In cohesion tension theory, Explains long-distance water transport driven by transpiration. Cavitation, air bubble formation breaking water column. Transpiration, water vapor loss from leaves. And halophytes, salt-tolerant plants storing ions in vacuoles. Study questions. What are the properties of water? Polarity, hydrogen bonding, cohesion, adhesion, high tensile strength, solvent. Diffusion equal to molecules, osmosis equal to water across membrane. What is water potential? PSI equal to PSS plus PSP plus PSG determines water flow direction. Major factors influencing PS: solutes, pressure, gravity. Negative contribution from dissolved solutes. What are aquaporins? Proteins that facilitate water transport, control rate. How does solute potential influence water potential? More solutes, lower PSI, drives osmosis. What is the soil-plant atmosphere continuum? Water flows along PSI gradient from soil, plant, atmosphere. What drives water to top of tree? Sunlight, evaporation, powering transpiration pull. How do soil types affect water uptake? Sandy drains fast, clay retains more water. Long-distance transport in xylem. Bulk flow driven by pressure gradient. Why root hair is good for uptake. Large surface area near tips. Define apoplast, symplast, transmembrane. Apoplast equal to walls, symplast equal to cytoplasm, transmembrane equal to across membranes. What is Casparian strip? Endodermal barrier, controls. Uptake. Xylem features: vessels and tracheids, lignified walls. Water movement in leaves, xylem, mesophyll, air spaces, stomata. Resistances to water loss, boundary layer, cuticle, stomatal regulation. What is a stomatal complex? Guard plus subsidiary plus epidermal cells controlling stomata. Explain cohesion tension theory. Transpiration creates tension, pulling cohesive water upward. What is guttation? Exudation of xylem sap at leaf tips from root pressure. Lecture 6, Mineral Nutrition, Vocabulary, Essential Elements required for growth, development, reproduction, and macronutrients needed in large amounts: N, P, K, Ca, Mg, S. Micronutrients needed in trace amounts: iron, Zn, Mn, Cu, B, Mo, Cl, Ni. Hydroponics, soil-free growth using nutrient solution. And Hoagland solution, complete nutrient mix for hydroponics. A mobile mineral element can move from old, young tissue, for example, NPK. Immobile mineral element. Deficiency shows in young tissues, for example, Ca, S, Fe. Chlorosis. Leaf yellowing, often nutrient deficiency. Necrosis, tissue death. Organic fertilizer derived from natural sources, manure, compost, and chemical fertilizer. Inorganic salts, NPK. NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium fertilizers. Rhizosphere, soil region near roots influenced by them. Study questions. Mineral nutrients are classified in 4 groups. 1. C compounds: N, S, 2 energy structure, P, B, 3 ionic form, K, Ca, Mg, Cl, 4 redox, M, Fe, Cu, Zn, Mo, Ni. What is hydroponics? Advantages: soil-free growth, controlled nutrients, avoids pathogens, research use. What is Hoagland solution? Complete nutrient solution, supplies all minerals without toxicity. Mobile versus immobile minerals. Mobile: N, P, K, Mg, Cl, Mo deficiency in old leaves. Immobile: C, S, Fe, B, Cu, Mn in young leaves. N, chlorosis, stunting. S, chlorosis in young leaves. Common P deficiency symptoms: dark green, purple, stunting. Group 3 deficiency symptoms: K, edge chlorosis, Ca, tip necrosis, Mg, intervenal chlorosis. Group 4 deficiency symptoms: Phe, intervenal chlorosis, Mn, spots, Cu, Zn issues with enzymes. How determine critical concentrations? Plant tissue analysis versus yield curves, deficiency, adequacy, toxicity. Root system differences. Monocots equal to fibrous, eudicots equal to taproot. Lecture 7. Nutrient uptake and solute transport. Vocabulary and passive transport. Movement down gradient without energy diffusion channels. Active transport. Movement against gradient using energy ATP proton motive force. And chemical potential. Sum of forces, concentration, electric pressure driving transport. Diffusion potential. Voltage from unequal ion diffusion rates. Channel proteins, selective pores allowing passive transport, gated. One carrier proteins bind and transport substances, passive or active, and pump proteins, primary active transporters using ATP, electrogenic or neutral. And symport, secondary active transport, solids move same direction. And antiport, secondary active transport, solids move opposite directions. And xylem loading, ATP-driven, ion transfer from symplast, apoplast of vessels. And Casparian strip, endodermal barrier, forcing symplastic ion entry. Study questions. What is Fick's law? J equal to dCx predicts solute diffusion rate based on gradient and diffusion coefficient. Define chemical potential. Energy of solute, including concentration, electric, pressure components, predicts solute flow. 3 transport mechanisms. Channels passive, carriers passive active, pumps ATP active. 2 main ion pathways in roots, apoplast and symplast, all symplastic at endodermis. Types of transport proteins, channels, carriers, pumps. Types of secondary active transport, symport same direction, antiport opposite. What is xylem loading? ATP-driven ion release into xylem vessels. How roots modify rhizosphere. Acidify soil, release chelators, siderophores to solubilize ions.